Public Schools WaKIDS competitive grant was really a look at the data of our incoming kindergarten children who the WaKIDS assessment demonstrated were ready for kindergarten in both the domain of literacy and language objectives. And then how did those children exit kindergarten? Were they at grade level? Was that a predictor? Were there, as a district or as a building, were there places where children could be accelerated through their learning if they didn't come in ready? So it really was a data collection and examination grant. We matched the student entry data from language and literacy domains on the WaKIDS assessment to the end of kindergarten DRA level. We believe a level 4 to 6 is considered to be at grade level for the end of K. And you can see a demonstration of what a level 4 text looks like. This chart represents all the children who came into kindergarten ready on the language and literacy domains of the WaKIDS whole child assessment. I do want to point out that this chart only goes to 80%. It doesn't go to 100% on the vertical axis and on to 55% on the horizontal axis. So bear that in mind when you're looking at the data. On the vertical axis, you'll see the schools and the number of children who came in assessing as ready on the two domains, and their ending, the percentage that ended at a level 6 on a DRA. Across the horizontal axis, you'll see the number of children who came in kindergarten ready and the percentage at each school that left at a DRA 4. So it's, as you look at it, there's lots of questions that start to pop up. This chart really shows the children who came in on the WaKIDS whole child assessment, and the assessment told us they were not ready for kindergarten in the two domains, language and literacy. So again, you can see that on the vertical axis shows the number of children who were at a level 6 or above at the end of the year, but it only goes to 50%. And then on the horizontal axis, it's the DRA score of 4. And again, they came in not ready for kindergarten based on the WaKIDS assessment. You have to really look at this one with a critical eye because of the 50%. If we would have gone all the way to 100% on that vertical scale, all the schools would have been swished up together down in the corner. So again, it's interesting to note, are we accelerating for kids? Are we helping kids go further if they come in not ready for kindergarten? This one simply shows all the children, whether they were ready or not, and where children in Spokane Public Schools, the percentage of children who left ready for first grade at the end of kindergarten based on DRA scores of 4 or 6. So what did the data make us ask? I'm not sure we learned as much as it made us just ask a million more questions. So we're currently examining what's different about the outliers, maybe schools that kids came in not ready but made huge progress towards being ready. What will the data show us in a year or 2 years? We fully believe a one-time look is not enough. Last year was the first year that every single kindergarten, 117 in Spokane Public Schools, actually did the WaKIDS assessment. So we had a lot of new teachers testing. It was hard to get everyone trained up and ready to go. So what will the data show in a few more years? Will the data change after the full implementation of a new ELA curriculum, which we have adopted and are implementing this year? Will the data be different in schools with the oral language fluency groups? We're running in kindergarten this year some action research around some very specific oral language fluency, small groups in our kindergarten in the schools where the WaKIDS assessment showed children were coming in the least ready in the language domain. There could be a difference in those schools in the coming years. A big question we have is, are we adding value to our kindergartners? When they come to kindergarten, are they leaving further ahead, even more than a grade level ahead than how they're coming in? Do the K readiness standards and the Common Core state standards ready for first grade aligned to a year's growth? We just don't know. I don't think we have enough information yet, but it's something for us to explore, not only as a district, but as a state. Big question for us, are we providing the highest quality instruction possible in our full-day kindergartens? Would there be a difference if you had full-day and half-day programs? We don't in Spokane, but this might be a larger state question. Is the WaKIDS assessment being administered the same across all 117 classrooms? That one's hard to know. I think after our second year of all of our teachers implementing this year, we'll have a better look in being able to answer that question. I know there are a million more questions beyond these, but these are the ones that we've raised first and foremost in our mind. So what did we learn through the grant? We learned we need to replicate the study again this June and probably several Junes thereafter. We know that we need to look specifically at our outliers to determine program delivery. Is it consistent? What are the demographics? Do we see differences between one school and another? Do we see something if they have similar demographics? Does that tell us something? Do we have outliers that come from different demographics? What does this say about teacher quality? I think it's just a question we need to ask. And then we can look in those schools. Some of the schools have had kindergarten teachers who've been in kindergarten and administering the WaKIDS for up to 4 years. Some are brand new teachers. Does that make a difference? We also know that we need to continue to have the data-driven dialogues around WaKIDS data and our own district assessments with kindergarten teachers and principals. We also did a lot of work with the grant in meeting and connecting with our early learning providers and sharing the WaKIDS data, talking about program pieces, trying to help us align more. And while we didn't study that connection in the grant, we did use grant dollars to do that, and we know that's a big part of what we need to continue in the coming years.